What up?
What up? We are DV. That guy's, they call him Twin. I'm Twin. So yeah, man, today is Friday, the freaking weekend. And it is April goddamn 11th.
April 11th.
2025.
For sure.
And I'm glad to be here, glad to be alive.
I had a situation with some patients, with an issue with patients today, right? When I was dealing with somebody, and the question came to my mind. Have you ever been patient for something, waited for something so long, and then finally get it and realize I'm not even sure if it was even worth it? Was it really worth the wait?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, do I still want this?
Right. All this time I waited, I've been patient for it, and then you start to realize, do I even really want this anymore? Because, think about it. Depending on the length of time, you could have changed. Let's say you waited 5 years to get something that you worked for. And then within that time, you realize, I'm not even that person anymore. I don't even want this shit anymore. Or you could get it and realize it doesn't feel and look the way you thought it would be. Right?
Right.
I'm sure we've all had that from time to time with whatever goal we were going after at the time, whether it been business, whether it been something personal for money, or a girl even. I've had that with a girl. I thought I wanted her so bad. Once I got her, I realized this isn't the relationship I thought I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
That's just on relationships, but that can be applied to so many different things that you're going after. What we're talking about is like, there are these benefits of patience, but then there's also these cons to being patient. I believe that you could actually miss out on certain things being patient. It's a tricky thing. I think it's a balance you need to have. One story what brought this conversation to mind today was I was having a conversation with somebody, and we had been talking about executing a plan. Basically, I was going to buy tickets to this situation that we had been talking about for a long time back in the past, and finally came to the day. Today came the day to buy the tickets, and when it came to buying the tickets, this person, the information they gave me was basically like some runaround shit to how to buy it. It was like, is this complication, is that complication, is this red tape? There's all these things that sounded very difficult to just get to one simple thing that I was looking to do, which was buy the ticket for that day. And we waited. I made sure I saved the money for it, waited. Finally get to the day to do it, and I realized if we got to do all this, I don't know if I even want it now, because I didn't realize it was all this red tape and all this difficulties that came with it, And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking about just telling her that, hey, I ain't doing it. It was like, it felt like there's a lot of stuff I was waiting to do, and there's a lot of stuff that came with it that I didn't know that came with this, that I wasn't expecting, It still feels really difficult to do for something so simple. And I was probably 5 seconds away from texting her, hey, never mind, I changed my mind. Because I was getting impatient. And I waited 5 more seconds, and a solution came, and as soon as that, I realized me and her was just missing a big step, and it was something very simple, really. And it didn't have to be that difficult. But if I had lost my patience for only 5 more seconds, I would have sent her a text message and said, I'm done, I'm cool, I don't want to do this now. But I'm glad I stayed patient just long enough to find a solution. And I feel like that happens a lot in life, Sometimes we lose our patience just short of actually finding the solution and finding our way and getting what we were going to receive. We lose our patience just a little too soon, right? You got any stories about a situation like that?
Well, I got a story about learning the value of it. I definitely, at many different times in my life, where I just was over waiting for something, and the whole time I'm waiting and I'm waiting for something to change, but in the process of waiting, I actually observed the reason why it was halted in the first place. Meaning, for example, like, say you're about to get on the bus, you're waiting for the bus, and the bus is taking forever, and you're late for work. You know what I mean? Now you're all stressing about being late for work. Then after, say, an hour goes by, you're damn near late. Now you just want to fucking call off at this point. You know what I'm saying? But you don't lose your cool. You don't say, I'm just going to call off. You just wait for the next bus. A part of you wants to say, fuck it all together. At least for myself, I've been in those positions. But say the bus finally comes after an hour, and then I get there to work, and they need me to stay longer. So I missed an hour, but I've gained a whole nother shift, which means more money because someone called off. But had I said fuck it and just called off, I would have missed out on that overtime or that new opportunity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For me to advance forward.
So back to that whole, being impatient, you can lose a lot of your blessings.
Yes.
You miss out on a lot of your blessings
By being impatient.
By being impatient, right? But then let's take it to the other side where I've seen things where I feel like I was being so patient and it wasn't even worth it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I almost want to say I was being too patient. I was being overly patient.
I feel like you can be.
You can waste time that way too,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I've had it where I've wasted time with a lot of people in my life where I felt like I gave them too much patience of myself. I was too patient with them, and I wasted a lot of my time. I wasted a lot of moments, good moments of my life of being patient with them when they didn't deserve that patience. And all that patience was for nothing. I got nothing to gain from it. If anything, I just lost time and money being patient with somebody that, it's one thing because, sometimes you tell yourself it's like an investment. I'm investing this patience and this time into this person because maybe it's going to come back on the back end. You know what I'm saying? It'll come back to me on a return, whether it be a friendship, a family member, a significant other. You call yourself being patient with, you call yourself growing with them. You think if I've been patient with them enough, that I'm gonna reap the return on this later, And there's been times where I've done that and I got nothing out of it, except nothing but negativity, Yes, I'll take that back because there was always something positive I could see out of it, but I'll just say it like that. I don't think the patience in that person or the patience in that thing was really worth it. I feel like I wasted it. I wasted time and money and energy. It felt like I was being too patient because that's something you gotta be careful with too. I feel like for years I was the person I prided myself in being patient. Then I started realizing this thing that I pride myself in so much might be a hindrance. Maybe I'm being too patient, Maybe you can relate, Either you're that person who's super patient or a person who's not patient enough. I don't know.
Well, the beautiful part about patience is that it tends to come to you in time. Like, the more you grow in life, the more you go through, the older you get, the more I think you learn to appreciate patience and you gain more patience. Because you start to understand that you go through enough, you realize I ain't missed shit. So now you're in less of a rush to do certain things because you realize that all things happen in due time. Divine timing, if you will.
For sure.
And what I love about that even more is that I think patience is so necessary because everybody should exercise it, go through it, and learn to enjoy it because patience is a part of the process. Patience is the thing that is the thing you go through that allows you to develop yourself in the process of whatever it is you're waiting on. Things in life take time. We don't live in an instantaneous world as much as we try to convince ourselves we do because we got microwaves and the internet and electronic payment systems and shit like that. We think everything's just happening instantly, but it don't. It still doesn't. We want it to happen faster, but everything happens in its own time as much as we want it to. I can't tell you how many times that I was waiting on something and I thought about all the different ways that I could get to it to move faster or expedite the situation. But some things need time to develop. A lot of things in life need time to develop into what they are.
Yeah.
Ideas need time to develop. Human beings need time to develop physically, mentally.
A career needs time to develop.
Your goals need time to develop.
If you're an artist, your style needs time to develop, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
So patience is necessary anyway, because you can't rush it. You could try, but you might be fucking up in the process of doing that. So you might as well just get patient and learn to love being patient. Because the things that you say you want in life, the goals that you've written out or spoken out to existence for yourself, the dreams that you have, those things take time. And it happens in divine timing, not yours. As much as we all want it to be that way, we want it to work in our time, but it don't happen that way. It happens in its own perfect timing.
Another way to say it is God's plan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
true, because we got our own plans, but you know, there's always something that's higher than you, that whatever you want to call that, has an ultimate plan.
And it requires patience.
Right.
It requires patience. There ain't no way around it.
You have to wait for it to be revealed.
Yep. Now, what I do recommend is is getting yourself busy with something else. You know, some people can't manage multiple different projects at once. That's fine, I understand. But I've done it so many times in my life now, I've gotten the hang of doing at least 2 or 3 different things at a time.
Why is it important to do that?
I say because it helps you pass the time. It helps you to avoid waiting on it to happen and watching every little change, because you're going to slow down your progress by doing that anyway.
Right.
And you're wasting opportunity by putting all your eggs in one basket and focusing all your energy on this one thing, when life is multiple things happening around us right now as we speak.
Yeah.
But you don't think I'm aware of all the multiple things going on? That's because I've taken time and have gone through life and have had practice being aware of multiple things going on at once. That's a different level of awareness, but that took time.
Yeah, it reminds me of that thing where it's like, if you sit and watch a clock, right, watch time go by, it goes by slower.
Right.
But if you focus on something else besides that clock, time will go faster.
By the time you look back up, it's already time to go.
Time flies.
Yeah.
So it's like that kind of concept.
Yeah.
You know, don't focus on that one goal that you got. Put that goal out there, put it out into the ether, and move on.
Yeah,
move on to something else.
Yeah.
Right.
Because while you're doing that, the universe is organizing every little step necessary for you to take to get to that goal or whatever it is you're trying to manifest in life.
For sure.
You know, so it helps to be busy with multiple projects. That way you don't have to be, you won't get drawn down or bogged down by the energy that it takes to fucking watch that shit happen.
Yeah, you'll get stuck on it.
You get stuck on it.
Yeah, obsessed.
You know? And it could actually,
and that kind of energy is what you call resistance.
yeah.
That is what keeps things moving slower when it comes to manifestation, especially.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of energy, that
Observation of it.
Yeah, that observation of it, that obsession over it. You're just resisting. You just keep creating resistance. You're slowing it down.
Yeah.
Literally, you are on an energetic level.
Uh-huh.
You know, so set that shit free so it can move faster, so it can manifest faster.
This is what I say. This is what I like to say when it comes to like manifesting things. Like, it's best to just get into the zone of it, connect to it emotionally best you can, visually, make it real in your mind for that moment. Just don't worry about yesterday, don't worry about today, don't worry about yesterday or tomorrow. Worry about right now. Make it as real as you possibly can in your mind. Then move on to something else, completely different, something unrelated to what it is you were just imagining or thinking about. It's like hit and quit. You get the hit and you move on. Don't obsess over it. Don't try to bring it back. Move on to a new one. Move on to a new manifestation. Let the other one take time to develop into reality.
Plant the seeds and move on. And then be patient enough, but not consciously patient, unconsciously patient, because you're focused on other things, and let them things just grow naturally. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's why I call it being unconsciously patient. You're being patient, but you're not consciously waiting, going, I'm waiting on this, I'm waiting on this.
Right.
You're unconsciously being patient, which in turn is helping that grow, manifest a lot faster, which is helping that seed grow faster.
Like that's like when you make an order online and you wait and you keep checking the tracking, make sure you see where it is, when it's coming. When is it coming?
Seems like it's taking forever.
Coming? Yeah, because you're constantly checking on it. Move on.
You're slowing down the time. You're resisting it.
Put your attention elsewhere. Focus on finding a new project to obsess over.
Right.
And then when you get that done, or you've moved a certain level with that, move on to something else. That's why I like doing that, because it keeps life exciting. It avoids me getting bored with the same thing. You know what I mean? So I do a little bit of this, and I do a little bit of that, and I do a little bit of this, and I come back to this, and I go back to that. That way, I'm still got things moving, and it's like there's nothing wrong with doing that, you know, because it's all day to day anyway. All you have is each day. You shouldn't be saying, I'm not going to do this because 2 days from now, I want it to be this. Worry about what it is today. You may not even have the opportunity to do it again tomorrow.
There ain't no tomorrow. Let's just keep it other way. There is no tomorrow. It's just today. That's it. You'll be lucky to see tomorrow if it comes, and that's great if it does. But I honestly walk around with the idea there ain't no tomorrow, because it ain't, like he said, it ain't promised. There really ain't no tomorrow.
Guaranteed.
So I don't put a lot of my attention on tomorrow. Yeah. I say, if it comes, great, you know. But let's worry about what we can do today, because that's all we got is right the fuck now, you know. Honestly, if you think about it, tomorrow literally is a hope for it. It's a memory. So is the past. We can only talk about what's in front of us right now. So if you want it, matter of fact, if you want to see tomorrow, then focus on today, because today is what creates tomorrow, right? In the moment. So if you're looking to see something, If you're looking for a specific tomorrow, create that specific tomorrow today. And hopefully you'll see that tomorrow. But you won't see that specific type of tomorrow unless you focus on it today and right now. Facts.
Yeah, so.
But in all that, you got to be patient.
Yeah, just keep in mind that it's going to have to take time. Whatever it is you want to happen, whatever it is you're waiting on, it's going to take time. If you make an order out to the universe and say, I want this, or if you make an order online and you buy this, it's still going to take, it may take less time than others, but you ain't going to have it instantly, you know? So everything takes time. So just don't let it shock you or take you out your game when it takes longer than you expected, whatever it is you're shooting for. When things don't happen the way you plan them to, don't be so goddamn weak or so easily shaken to where it takes you off your game and you just say fuck it altogether. You should already be coming into it with the idea and the knowing that it's gonna take time. And it ain't gonna be on your time. Not likely. God bless you if it does, that's awesome. But most times it's gonna take its own time, you know? And you'll be more appreciative of it when it does happen.
And another thing I want to put out there, for you those that haven't already heard it, but it's so true. It sounds cliche, but it's so true. Rejection is God's redirection. Remember that one. In a time that you feel like maybe that you may not be up to par, or you got rejected from a job, or rejected from a gig, or rejected from anything that you were trying to go after, you know, look at that as God's redirection. That wasn't a rejection. That was God putting you, steering you away, steering you to something way better than what you could have imagined.
Sure.
It's true, because I've seen it so many times.
Hell yeah.
And it's easy for us to go, I feel rejected now. You know, man, they wasn't feeling this. You know, nah, it wasn't for them. That's all.
Right.
You were great. You were dope. You just ain't. It's just God redirecting you for your crowd. That wasn't your crowd. That wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Those weren't your fans. Those weren't your people. That wasn't the girl for you. That wasn't the guy for you. That wasn't your husband. That wasn't your wife. Those weren't your friends. That's God redirecting you to a place that is fit for you.
More genuine.
Right. And more fitting, more natural, right? Because it ain't really about the struggle. So like I said, remember that one. It's not rejection, it's God's redirection. For sure.
Yeah.
That's something I live by every day.
Yeah.
Not easy to remember it's not easy to remember though, especially in the moment, but it helps to remind yourself of that though. Keeps you on track. You know?
So yeah, I recommend embracing being patient, you know. Embrace being patient. Embrace the time that it takes for things to manifest into reality. Because it's a part of the process. It really is. So, you know, I think once you get past that and just come to grips with that and understand that and allow that, you'll have a better experience with manifesting your goals and your dreams and whatever else you want in life, you know? Once you get over, like, it's not a shock now when things take longer because you've already accepted it. And you don't have this definite goal that you think it's supposed to happen in your mind. But let's not forget about God's mind. You know, we're just operating through the mind of God. So
right. Or better yet, God's operating through us.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
Same's true, really.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm just saying, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna play the game, play it smart. You know, don't psych yourself out. Don't drain your energy by stressing about things that you can't control.
That part.
You can't control when that may happen or when you want it to happen. You have an idea of it, but you really ultimately don't have no real control over that. The only thing you have control over is how you see it.
Right.
How you want it to, how you see it happen.
Where you direct your energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got control of that. Yeah.
So just focus on what you can control. Just get over the idea of when you think it's supposed to happen or it taking longer, you know, being bored.
And I want to say that too, to end this on some conversations we've had some people recently, subscribers. Whatever it is you're going after, whether you're trying to be a vlogger, a YouTuber, or a skater, or a basketball player, whatever your goal is that you in your life, whatever that is, take it from me, man. It ain't gonna come tomorrow, so you gotta do it today. Do it today. Matter of fact, because you don't even know if tomorrow will be here. You don't want to miss that. So your chance is right now. You don't have to be perfect. Just start somewhere and just do it.
Yeah.
And then be patient enough to watch yourself grow.
Right.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
You'll learn as you go. Okay? I'm talking to you.
Be patient with yourself and trust yourself. And because you deserve it. You deserve whatever it is you say you want, man. You deserve it. Believe that. That's why you're here. You're here to get it. Not here to watch other people just have it. You deserve it too.
Right.
Whatever it is.
That idea came to you for a reason.
Exactly.
It wasn't just a passing thought.
That was supposed to happen.
You're supposed to do that.
But it's up to you to act on it, man.
Right.
You got to trust yourself and love yourself and love to know that you're going to be there for yourself in the process of you attaining that. You got to trust yourself. You got to at least test yourself enough to see if it's even true.
Right.
Go for it. See what happens. What do you got to lose?
No doubt.
So, yeah. Once again, we just here to connect, man. We just want to see what you guys think. Let us know in the comments if you guys understand or you vibrate or you know, resonate with anything that we said here. Let us know. Like, subscribe, share this. You know, if you know anybody that can relate to what we talking about, man, or just say what's up.
Right.
You know, we talk back. Everybody sees us. This is where we at. You know what I mean? Shit. It ain't like you don't see us all the time. Holla back. Once again, I want to thank you for even fucking tuning in, even thinking about a motherfucker and seeing what we talking about. I appreciate it very much. I'm very grateful. It's a beautiful day out. I'm glad to be here. I'm gonna see what the rest of Long Beach got to offer today. It's Friday night. I'm healthy. My skin is right. I'm beautiful. Life is beautiful. You guys are beautiful, and I love you. I also love you because I'm able to love myself. So what I want you to do before we get out of here is just take the time today is to love yourself for yourself.
No other reason than that.
Because you deserve it. Appreciate you.